Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you stopped by because we're gonna have some fun today. I am Barbara. If you're new here, I live in Tennessee in Zone 7B, and I'm in my tunnel, but we're actually about to go to the outside garden. Today is the day. It is mid-October, and we are going to say goodbye to our summer garden. It's bittersweet. I would say it's more sweet than bitter at this point. Y'all, the summer garden has been good to us. If you are new here, we have 3 main growing spaces that we grow in. For the summer, we use all of our spaces, which is our high tunnel. We have raised beds behind the house, and then we also have an outside summer garden that you saw on some of the footage leading up to the beginning of this video. That's what we have to go tackle. So this summer we produced a ton of food. We sold a ton, we preserved a ton, we still have a ton to preserve. Counters are not completely covered, but I still have stuff on my counters, and I'm sure after today I'm gonna add more stuff, because one of the things is we clean it out, we're gonna have to harvest everything that is left. This is really, y'all, the final summer harvest. Now, I know I did a video probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago saying, hey, our last harvest. That was fake news, okay? Because the garden has still been producing in spite of no attention from me, complete neglect. It is still producing. Why? Because food wants to grow. A lot of these rows, I have turned the water off. The water has been off on those rows, except one row, for at least 10 days. At least. There has been no rain, and it's still producing food. Food wants to grow, y'all. And so we're going to get the final summer stuff today, as well as start to clear out and make it a desolate place. Right now it is full. It looks a hot mess. It is weedy. It is all the things. But today is the day that we clean it out. So this is the very last space for us to get ready for the fall. We started in our tunnel because in our tunnel is where we grow all of our food for fall and winter. And that is the primary space that we're using for our fall and winter food. In the back of my house, I did a video on that earlier this week, about getting that space ready for fall, because that's where we're going to do our garlic. This space here will not be used for the fall and winter, and so we're gonna put it to bed, get as much harvest as we can off of it, clear everything out, and then actually put it to bed. I am toying around with the idea of how I'm gonna really put it to bed in terms of what my final step is gonna be. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later. I still have some ideas in my mind about what I want to do with this space, but I haven't settled on one thing. And y'all, today fall is falling, okay? It is like low 60s today. It's chilly out here now. I went into the city, so to speak, which is like 45 minutes from my house earlier today. The sun was bright and shining, same temperature, but the sun was like really out there, so it felt very warm. Like I had on long sleeves and I was like pushing my sleeves up. I get home, and I guess because we were with all these trees and the mountains and stuff, the sun ain't out. It's just cool. So I got my jacket on, but I'm sure once I start working I'll probably have to pull that off. So the first order of business is to harvest as much as we can, and my husband's out here to start hauling stuff away. We have wheelbarrows set up to start putting the excess, and we rented a tractor to haul the stuff off. So this is a major operation project for today. Now, last year, if you saw my video last year, we actually had a group of young people out here called the Pathfinders that actually helped us clear out our summer garden. They ain't hear this here, y'all. It's just my husband and I, which means it may not all get done on this video, okay? And it means it's gonna take us a little bit longer, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna get it done. And that's why I say this is more sweet than better. Like I'm even though I'm more in the summer garden, I'm ready for this space to be done. I'm ready. I'm tired of looking at it in the condition that it's in. I'm tired of having to worry about it, and it's getting cooler and all that. I don't want to be out there, you know, and it's about to start getting cold, from cool to cold. And actually, we're supposed to be having our first frost later on this week. So that's another reason to at least harvest the stuff. And we don't have to necessarily clear it all out, but at least I want to harvest the stuff and, you know, not lose what we have out there. So let's grab some baskets, let's go harvest, and at the same time I'll be showing you what it looks like out there as we start to pull stuff away. Okay guys, so the first row we're going to tackle is actually this row right here. This has some peppers on this row. It probably has some okra stuff. I don't know that I'm going to even try to fool with the okra because most of it is overgrown. We'll see how many like fresh pods are out here, but I do see quite a bit of peppers that we can get from this row. Y'all, just look at this. When I tell you this garden, but this is the result of hard work and effort and producing a ton of food. So we certainly cannot complain. Y'all, this is unreal. Look at all of these peppers. As you saw, I have not moved, I don't know, 6 feet. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 plants. All of these peppers. This basket is already full and they look good. There's some that I left on there that were sunscald. Okay, like that one is sunscald. Like, I ain't even trying. I mean, I can cut around it. Maybe I'll keep it. But I got so many peppers that I really can be picky. Okay, look at that. Y'all, do you see this? Like, bell peppers and then Ajvarsky peppers. And I still got more. But I'm going to have to switch out baskets because this basket is already full. My husband and I started on opposite ends. So he started with the last row, which is the watermelon patch. And I think he is almost done with this whole entire row, and then I'm on the opposite end and we'll kind of just meet in the middle. But I want him to start with the watermelon patch because there's nothing on there that we need to keep. Man, that's a big watermelon. Is that watermelon any good? That's one in the middle? That right there, that big old watermelon.
What about it?
Is it messed up or is it solid?
A few more down there.
Really? Turn it over. Y'all, that's like a, now I don't know what it looks like on the inside, even what it tastes like, but that's like a full-grown watermelon that has regrown after we harvested all the watermelons. You said I got a couple more down there?
There's a few more down there.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So he has this row pretty much all done except this last basil plant right there. It smells real herbal down here. Y'all, we are really saying goodbye to the summer garden. Oh, I told you it's bittersweet. More sweet than bitter at this point of the game. Now, a month ago, I was like, oh, the summer garden. But as the temperatures has changed, it kind of pushes you into fall, being inside, not being out here for long hours at a time. And y'all, it's been real. And then I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how literally, y'all, we start seeds like at the end of January. So if you think about it, even though we won't be out here in the summer garden until like maybe May, we start the process, like we start getting our seed catalogs in like December. So we ain't got long. To everything there's a season. Okay, let me keep harvesting because we need to get all this food. What I'm gonna do with it all, I don't know, but I'm gonna get it and we'll go from there. Y'all, this basket is completely full to the top, and that's just the first row. And then look at my beautiful dahlias that I harvested. Y'all, unbelievable. Y'all, food wants to grow. Let me lift this basket up and just so you can get a close up. Look at this. This basket is completely full to the top. That's on that one row. Bell peppers, a few banana peppers, and then Ajvarsky red roasting pepper. And then look at my beautiful dahlias. These are absolutely beautiful. Okay, my husband has started up the tractor, and I said I may take this jacket off because it's gonna get toasty. Y'all, this wind is kicking out here. It's downright cold. Like, not cold, but because it hasn't been cool, it feels cold. Y'all gotta keep working. Let me let me keep working so I can warm up. Hubby is got the tractor, and we are hauling the first. So you can see the destruction of the first row. So we're gathering all this stuff up row by row. And he's going to put it into the bucket of the tractor, and haul it off. So you can see a little bit by the video how windy and cool it is that day. So he has the first big pile that he's getting right here. He's going to take it over, like I said, to the tractor, fill up the bucket. And this is the process we're doing on this first row, just to try to get it hauled off. Y'all, this is some hard work. Okay, y'all, we're an hour and a half in. It's me, my husband, and my son. My husband said we're doing pretty good for just the three of us, because last year we had literally probably about 30, 40 kids that were between the ages of like 13 and 18 out here, young bodies, young backs. And they got it done in a day. So he said for the three of us, he said we're actually doing good. I'm gonna turn the camera around and let you see. We have 3 rows completely cleared, so we're kind of working a system. I went through and I did all the harvesting, and then my son was coming behind me as I was harvesting, and he was pulling up the plants in the row where I was harvesting. Then when we got to the tomato row, that row is really just wild. So my son and I started from each end and met each other in the middle, and we were literally just snipping the branches and let whatever would fall to the ground. Then my husband was on the other side of the row doing the exact same thing. So we had some falling on one side, some falling on another side. All the stuff that I want has been harvested. In tomato row, when I tell you that row ain't had water in weeks, and it still has a lot of tomatoes. A lot of them are messed up, you know, bug damage and all that good stuff. There are a lot of cherry tomatoes that are like brand new, but they're green, and I know they're probably not gonna ripen. But for the harvest, I got a ton of peppers. I will turn you around and let you see the progress that we have made so far. Okay, y'all, first 3 rows are done, and this is what we have left. Let me move you over here. So this is the other side of the tomato row. You can see that we have a lot of stuff down right in here, but there's still some stuff on the far end down there that still needs to be pulled. My husband has been hauling stuff away on the tractor as we go, so we're kind of just like working in a system. So my son now is on, I'll send him back to the first row because that's a pretty easy row. One, to kind of give ourselves a break, and again, you can see here, he's on that row, and he's halfway through that row, so we'll definitely get that done. We only have 30 more minutes before it gets dark. Okay, I sent my son to this row instead of like going all the way in order, because this row, that's the first row where I started and harvested all the peppers, and I was pulling some as I went, the ones that I could. So that's a pretty easy row that we can kind of knock out before it gets dark, and then I'll move him probably to the next easiest row. So I don't think that we're going to get completely done before it gets dark. We have the tractor for 24 hours, so my husband will do what he can tomorrow before he has to take the tractor back, but we will definitely get at least 75% of the way through. And I'm like, out of all the days we picked to do this, it is the chilliest day. Like, we have not taken our coats off. But it's been pleasant. It's better to work in these in this weather than it is 95 degrees blazing, because you can work a lot faster and you're not sweating, you're not doing any of that. It feels good. It's just cool. But it's definitely bearable, manageable, and all the stuff. Okay, y'all, you saw the final shot that we're leaving tonight with. For the most part, we'll probably work another 15 or 20 minutes, but it'll be pitch black by then. So I wanted to go ahead and end this video while I still have a shred of daylight. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work. I guess what you put in the ground must come out. And now, could we have left this to maybe do in the spring? Yes, I do. I don't even want to entertain that thought. Like, I like to get it all done so I don't have to worry about it or think about it, because when the spring comes, you already have enough to do to get the garden ready to plant for the summer. So I was telling you that I had some ideas about what or how I was gonna like put this space to bed. So the first year when we had this space, we pulled up everything, and yeah, we just pulled up everything and kind of just left it as is. We had a lot of weeds growing in the hole, not during the winter because obviously the weeds weren't growing, but as soon as the spring hit, the weeds grew in the holes because there was nothing there, right? So when it came time to plant for the summer, we had to literally go through every hole and pull up all the weeds. Last year, I cut off the plants out here and I left the roots intact so that it could like decompose over the winter. And I was thinking that would, fill up some of the space so we wouldn't have as many weeds, and also it'd be good for the ground. That was okay. Again, I don't know that I would, obviously I didn't do that this time. We pulled up most of the stuff. We didn't cut and just leave the roots in place to decompose. I didn't really see a benefit, so to speak, and we still had several roots that had not decomposed all the way, especially like the thick, big ones, or whatever. And we still had weeds that we had to get rid of. So because this space has landscape fabric, we don't plant a cover crop. Ideally, if I had the mindset and the bandwidth and the manpower, ideally it would be great to pull up all this landscape fabric, plant a cover crop to put more nutrients and fertilizer in the ground, and then mow it all down and then relay the landscape fabric again. But y'all, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And because this is a side hobby that I'm passionate about and that I love, and because it's just us, we don't have a team of people, we don't do that. We got to work smart and not hard. So that's not an option. And if you're new and you don't know what a cover crop is, basically it is a crop that covers your ground, and you can get legumes, you can get hairy vetch, which is that a legume? I don't think it is. Anyway, you can get different things depending on what your soil needs to amend your soil. Like if you need nitrogen because your plants have depleted a lot of nitrogen, you can plant a cover crop that is rich in that thing, whether it is hairy vetch is one. Right now my mind is escaping me, but there's several different kinds of cover crops depending on what you need. But you plant it, it grows, you mow it down, the nutrients in the ground, and then you go back and plant for the summer. I've always wanted to do it, but just, hey, not in the cards right now. We're not moving this fabric. This is a lot of fabric. It took a lot to get down. And that's one thing that we don't have to worry about in the summer, is that the fabric is already down. So what I have thought about doing is getting a silage tarp to lay over this entire thing. Now, the only thing with that is that we're going to have to remove the trellises if we do that. And basically a silage tarp is basically what it says. It's a tarp that you can lay down and you solarize the ground. What does that mean? That means that, again, I don't know how to put it in scientific terms, but basically I'm laying a complete tarp over the ground. It is going to hinder light from getting in, and that means weeds are not going to grow, but also you can use it to kill weed seeds, right? So weeds are going to grow, and then the weed seeds are going to die, so therefore you have a weed-free space. Many gardeners use this technique called I think it's called solarization. They use this technique to, as they're going from season to season, and to kill weeds or to get a space ready without weeds. I'm not being as scientific, but I'm telling you the best way I know how to explain it. So I can get a silage tarp now and put it all over here, or I can actually wait until the spring. And you need a certain amount of daylight and heat for it to work quickly and effectively, but ideally I could probably get it, I would say like maybe February or March, and let it be on here for, I don't know, 60 days or so, and it probably would do the trick. Or I can lay it down here now and it be out here all winter. So I haven't decided. I'm still doing some research on it. It is not cheap, but once you buy it, you're done, right? Because I got to get a tarp that would cover this entire space, which is 40 by 100, which is 4,000 square feet. So if you've ever used a silage tarp before, put down in the comments, let me know your experience with it. I would love to know. If you have any other options, to let me know. I know last year you guys suggested that maybe I put compost in each hole. I got to see how much compost or mulch I have left. Yes, we could do that. I guess it would just be coming through again with a wheelbarrow and just filling each hole and covering it and see if that would work. that may be an option as well. If you have any other options, put them down below. But I'm still trying to figure out how to put it to bed once it gets all cleared. So as you can see, the sun is dipping behind me. It's almost like what you call the golden hour. But we put in a lot of work. I would say we've probably been out here 2.5 hours strong, and pretty much we're at least 80% done, which is amazing for just being us three. So I'm very grateful for that. It has been an amazing summer gardening growing season. I have absolutely no complaints. I'm going home with 4 baskets of stuff in the middle of October. Who can complain about that? And when I say the cup runneth over, the Lord has done exceedingly abundantly above all that I could ask or think. Now, if you were here in the beginning, you know that I did a special garden prayer for my garden and all of us. That was back in probably April. If I remember, I'll try to link it up here. But God did exactly, he did more than what I could ask for. And I just have a heart of gratitude. Growing food has been one of my greatest joys, and sharing with others and teaching them how to grow food is also a great joy. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't take it for granted that you click that button to subscribe, that you click that button to play, that you listen to me in your car, in your kitchen, while you're putting your kids to bed. Like, I don't take it for granted, because you can spend your 25-30 minutes doing something else. So I thank you so much. If you have not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, and remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.